This is Karl talking management for the Globe Mail. Today I'm delighted to speak to Lynda Gratton, who's a senior professor at the London Business School. Good afternoon, Lynda.
Hi.
So Lynda, you've been looking at work for a long time. What do you
Yeah.
see as the emerging world of work that we're in and looking forward to?
You know, I just think that's the most fascinating question right now. And over the last couple of years, we at London Business School have run a very expansive project to look at the future of work involving 200 executives from around the world. And basically what we're finding is that there's 5 forces that are really going to make a difference. You know, globalization, technology, societal changes, and then of course carbon is also going to be really important. So we sort of see a real big change happening in terms of why we work, in terms of where we work, in terms of how we work.
So do you think it's a generational shift, or is it just the nature of the economy we're in today?
Well, I mean, there is a big demographic going on. Clearly what we know is that Gen Y, currently in their early 20s, want a different way of working. They want more balance. And that's not, by the way, just a Western phenomenon. You see that in India and China as well. But of course, on top of that is technology. You know, our friends from Nokia tell us that by 2020, 5 billion people will be connected to each other. And I think that's an amazing question to ask. What will 5 billion people do? And my guess is that that will really change the way that we live and change the way that we work.
So how do you see, looking forward 10 years, how do you think work will be different for the average person?
Well, I think for the average person it'll become much more knowledge-based. I mean, there will always be work in factories, but of course more of that will be done by robots and automated. It'll be more knowledge-based, it'll be more virtual. You know, you're going to be linking up with colleagues all over the world, many of whom you haven't met, obviously more technologically enabled, and there has, you know, a bright side and a dark side. You know, the dark side is isolation, fragmentation, and the new poor emerging right across the world, if those who don't have access to the global talent pools. And the bright side is highly cooperative, possibly empathic, interesting, meaningful work, and a more balanced life. And I think that, you know, possibilities between the dark and the light is a very interesting area to be thinking about.
It seems like in our generation we've been on a treadmill running for years. Are you saying, do you think we're kind of getting at the end of the treadmill, that we just simply can't act and work life like this anymore?
Well, you know, certainly if you take a look at the new technologies that are coming up, fragmentation will only increase. The treadmill will only increase. There's no technology that's going to take the treadmill away.
Okay.
So the question that we face is, do we want to be part of that treadmill? And what's, I think, sort of interesting is that our generation said, yes, we'll be happy to do that. But the new generation, your sons, my sons, our, you know, daughters, they want something different. And actually, you know, although we often think about organizational change being about the CEO, I think this time around it'll be about young people. And they'll say, we don't want to be part of this. We want to start our own businesses. I'm seeing a lot of what I would call micro-entrepreneurs emerging. And frankly, you know, in many businesses now, the barriers to entry are so low that you can start your own business with very little capital, and more people around the world will want to do that.